So in 1986, Omnex was implementing a standard called Q101. It's a Ford standard, oftentimes called the Deming standard. 20 questions, and it started with FMEA. Question number 1 is FMEA and control plans. Question numbers 1 and 2. So you had to put all these methodologies together and implement it in the supply base. Also at that time, Ford, and Ford Powertrain and Omnex worked closely together, and we got a chance to work with their, what they call the worst suppliers. Suppliers that they were thinking of what they call desourcing. So here we are in the midst of implementations, and the first couple of implementations we worked with machining suppliers. Greg, we worked with hundreds, because I had many part numbers, we worked with hundreds of process flows, hundreds of PFMEAs, hundreds of control plans, and then of course you had check sheets. The scariest part is when they come to do the Ford Q1 assessment, which they will do after you've passed the Q101, they actually would have taken the control plan and the FMEA and walked the floor, which they do today. The good auditor should do today. But that meant us constantly editing these documents. My God. So very soon we understood a couple of things. Number one, the documents had to be linked. And we figured out how it linked. And by the way, we teach the same methodology today called process review. We wrote in the 1980s. Second thing, so we said the documents had to be linked. Excel spreadsheets don't do it. And the second thing we knew is hundreds of part numbers is not the way to go. So that's when Omnex came up with the idea of product and process families, by the way. So, I had a good friend who was a professor at the University of Michigan, actually a computer science professor. He and I worked together, and lo and behold, and I also had just a couple of years before that taken relational databases, very new, and I just finished my master's at U of M. And so we came out with the very first Aqua Pro in 1988 that linked the documents and organized things by product and process families.